had this weird thought the other day about movie making.
What about?
Or it's kind of like we're all building a fort together, you know what I mean? The fort is the movie, right? We're all building this fort together.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I was talking with Mark and Cherokee, I think I kind of went off on the deep end a little bit, remember? I said, I'm creating my own universe in Astro Space Era, and Mark's like, okay, better get them out of my house now.
Well, I'm going to ask you this. How much, because science knows, for real, science knows that
We need napkins.
your aura is real,
Mm-hmm.
your meridians are real, like your chi or your ki, whichever you prefer, you know, the way energy travels. So, how much of your soul do you think is captured on film?
Oh.
Could be a big chunk, you know. Remember, Native Americans hated it because they took photos. They would say, "Stop taking my soul."
Right. But I'm saying, and I don't think of it like it's gone, like it took it from you, but it did, because the soul is a kinesthetic thing, or an aesthetic. It can be measured aesthetically or kinesthetically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think there's some of it on that film or on that camera, right?
I always believe if you create something in your mind, like if you read a book or listen to music or watch a film or make a film, it is a kind of a form of magic. Me and Mark were talking about it. Like a lot of the early filmmakers were magicians.
Yeah, like George Méliès is like one of the first
Yeah.
that
And,
used visual effects.
yeah, I
And
mean,
he was a magician.
yeah, and I think the
What's
best
his name?
George Méliès.
From the Earth
Okay.
to the Moon.
He did lots of weird, surreal movies. You know the movie Hugo?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Well, he's in that. It's sort of
Kind of
sort of
an
about
homage.
him.
Yeah.
How far back does he go?
Early 1800s, 1900s.
Oh my God.
It was in the silent movie era, and
That's a big deal.
It was black and white, and he would color his films, and that was like a big thing
Big thing, yeah.
to have colorized films. So
When you think of,
He did that?
yeah,
yeah,
every frame you draw.
yeah, I know.
You won't need napkins.
I won't turn that down.
Okay.
Now I think Jerry needs a water.
Okay, I'll take a water too.
And you do too, Mark. Look, I'm like y'all's dad over here. Let's do water.
No, the big thing with, well, it's kind of a presupposition that actually was in the Mouth of Madness. If you believe in something, if enough people believe in it, maybe at some point it manifests itself into a reality. Maybe not in this universe, but someplace else.
Right.
So in some parallel universe, there's a Star Wars universe, or a Doctor Who universe, or a Star Trek universe. Just because so many people believe in those concepts or are familiar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Astro Space here is this little dinky, marble-sized universe, kind of falling behind the big, huge universe. But
No, I think it could be.
kind of,
I know it's not the blockbuster like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Culturally, it's not a household name, but it has a lot of layers in it. I'm not
Spit
saying,
in one of them.
I have mine. That'd be yours.
well,
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mark. Wait a minute, this is spit. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And thanks for the pizza too.
Yes,
I
thank you.
love Jet's Pizza.
Yeah,
I'm glad you like Jet's Pizza, because that says a lot about a man. But so what I'm saying though, and I go for that too, and I'll say along with that, Jerry, that when you consider that when someone here in reality as we know it creates a mythos like Star Wars, Star Trek, that's it, right? That echoes in parallel existences, so to speak, right?
Well, I really believe that what we film and what we do and what we aspire to is kind of a Platonian thing, and a lot of our films represents our fears, our fear, a lot of our hopes and fears. Like every superhero film out there, I think Superman's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, it's awesome, but it'd be a terrifying object. You know, like some guy who's a waiting time bomb, and he'd like blow half of America off because he got mad. Someone blocked me in traffic. Time to destroy Metropolis. You know.
Yeah, he's basically would be unstoppable because he can fly so fast they couldn't.
Yeah, it's a terrifying concept. I mean, that much power on somebody, you hope that they're a Buddhist monk or something, like, I'm very Zen, yeah, but, that much power, it would just, that would, without any checks and balances, it's a terrifying concept, man.
Superman could become a king.
Yeah,
he could become king of America or something.
Anything he wanted, because if you think about it too, along with what you're saying, Krypton is a very warring planet.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't even exist anymore because of
their whatever various craziness that they did. Yeah, no.
You just grabbed a chunk of cheese.
I didn't grab my cheese.
He's mutilating the pizza.
That's awesome. But what I'm saying, along with, there's parts of that stuff in eternity, right? Like, there's other galaxies with that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you think about even our reality, something that becomes a staple. I'm not saying it is when it first comes out, because you don't know. Like, for example, years from now, the Chronicles of Riddick might be a staple. We don't know. They might fade away. But what we know, for a perfect example, Star Wars is a staple, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of freaky to think about this, that, like, for example, 30 or 40 years from now, there will be at least 15 more Star Wars movies because it's such a part of our culture now. And as long as there's humans and there's movie making, there will be Star Wars movies to the infinity.
There are going to be versions of The Fog, Halloween. Maya's grandchildren, if she wants to have grandchildren, they'll have their version. Star Wars, Superman,
Everything. Can you imagine Superman 50 years from now? Superman movie. It'll be so freaky.
It's like, look at me, I can lift up Krypton with my pinky. You know?
Yeah.
Check it out.
Look at me.
Let me check it out. The one good thing about it is a good actor, a good performance is the hardest thing to get rid of. Because even if you love Man of Steel or the Superman movies, you can't shake Christopher Reeve. I agree. Yeah, even if the new Superman's like, I'm grim and brooding, you can't help but think of Christopher Reeve. Yeah,
that's right. Marlon Brando did that on a lot of roles.
Yeah,
he branded the role, no pun intended. But he, Streetcar Named Desire on the waterfront.
Stella.
Yeah. He like that's him. That's why they ain't remade any of that stuff. But what I was gonna say about that, about Superman and his powers, I'm drawing a blank. There's so much I wanted to say about that. I don't even remember.
Just crazy.
Oh yeah, my hat's off to Henry Cavill though. I think he's doing a fine for that interpretation. That's not all his fault. That's a
studio. You can always tell when a studio messes with it. Like, hey, we're so gonna have this awesome action movie. Here's a random character.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, random character.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? I'm essentially going to have another film start up next year, so I'm here to help you.
Aha!
Out of sight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they kind of did that in the new Star Wars movie with Captain Phantasma or whatever.
Yeah, she was there for 2 seconds.
But she's there because they're going to put her in other stuff, in the other movies.